Okay, welcome to Roll for Question, where a veteran DM, me, offers to answer any questions you may have about Dungeons and Dragons. Being a DM, being a player, ask away. In the meantime, I'm going to be working on my introductory adventure here, The Eruption of Wormgate. Going to be making some NPCs today. NPCs are a vital component to any adventure, any story really. They're the hands of the story. If I had to choose between a really interesting world and boring NPCs, or a really boring world and really interesting NPCs, I'd choose interesting NPCs. They're that important. So we're going to try and spice this up by adding some NPCs. I am primarily going to be adding villagers. I think it's worth calling out maybe a baron. Here in chapter 1, we mentioned that there's a baron. We might have an NPC bandit. Where is it? We've got Milt, the merchant, the traveling merchant. We've got Isan, the village elder. Did I come up with a name for the bandit? I don't know. I guess I didn't. So I should come up with that. Possibly. It might also be worth giving some of these volcano elementals a name and a motivation, not just making them faceless things to defeat. You know, giving them a name, giving them a purpose adds depth to what is going on, which is not much because this is an introductory adventure. It is not intended to be complicated. It is not intended to be amazing. This is intended for new players to learn the game. But that's no excuse for being boring. Anyway, let's notable NPCs. So before I get started, I like to set a palette. I do that when I'm writing. I like setting a palette for myself when I'm writing. But when I'm drawing, I just wing it. I think that shows you what I'm good at. No palette here. No palette here. I don't know. Palette is green. Palette is gray. But anyway, I want to sell the vibe that people don't like mercenaries. I also want to sell that the village is poor. Because perhaps these two things are linked. Because there's all these volcanoes happening, and the civilizations across Noceron need to hire mercenaries to deal with all this, and the mercenaries kind of get carte blanche because they're saving the world, TM. So they do a lot of shit that they probably shouldn't be doing, and it gives them a bad rep. What else? I want to add another dimension of the village communes with the forest. With the wilds. They are in touch with the lands in a way that anyone outside of the village probably thinks is weird. And maybe it is weird. We don't need to answer that question. We can leave that an open question. And are weird about it. Okay, one more thing. Okay, I should also write these are not notable NPCs. What is something that we can establish? So I established previously that there's a bridge here, and then there's a terrible garbage bridge here. So maybe the people of Wormgate hate the people of Farm Rock? Maybe they're competitives. Competitive. Wormgate is competitive with Farm Rock. Let's do one more, because that feels a little easy. They're in touch with the wilds. There are bandits. I don't think we can work with that. There is this catacomb, so it is unattended, but it was probably once long ago attended. So maybe casting off religion, casting off the traditions. The traditions are rusting. Okay, I can work with that. That's a palette. So, now to start off, I like giving NPCs names. But I hate giving them names because I'm terrible at names. So I'm just going to go ahead and just grab a bunch of random names. Alright, I'm going to go with Finny, Senfa, Zig, Barda, Leo Frick. That's a fun one. I should include Milton-Isan here. Oh no. Rainy days. No, that's too on the nose. Demay. Laugh. Okay, I like that. Merwin. Let's go with one more. Brahm. Sanzir. Elwyn. Those are some names. We can start there, hammer out a chisel out the stone, the block that before us into a shape. One thing I like to do is short sentence, a couple of words to sort of set the vibe. Folksy, traveling merchant, a haunted village elder. Okay. We've got space here. We've got space to work. We can do whatever we need. So we've got the village. The villager is commune with the wilds, so we need someone to lead the commune. The communing. Skeptical. Wild speaker. And we've got someone who someone who would be rich if the village wasn't poor, and they're very upset about it. What do we have established in this village already? We have an inn, a smithy. I don't think we've established much. This is a general store. Okay. Grumpy shopkeep. Zig. Okay. We've got to have something about mercenaries. Okay. Well, we can give this village a mill. Miller. And I want to say something like they were once bright in the past, but they've been weathered. Weathered, that's the word. Weathered Miller. And then a village has to have a liaison with other villages, I guess, with the nearby source of protection. I don't know. Screw it. Mercenary liaison. I know how to spell. Apparently I don't know how to spell. But we need a word for that. Doubting. Skeptical. We've already used the word skeptical, but we can go into the thesaurus. Thesaurus. Skeptical. Dubious. I like that. You know, they're not popular in this village, and they don't like being popular. And they've been here long enough that maybe the villagers have a point, but they still have a job to do. They have to represent the guild. Guild liaison, not mercenary liaison. Leo Frick sounds like a sage name. But the traditions are rusting, so... Afflicted sage. They're no longer reliable. Can't count on them to keep knowledge, keep traditions alive. Demay... I don't know. Something about bridges. Bridge builder. Bridge engineer. Proud bridge engineer. They build bridges, and they live here because they can live wherever they want, and they're proud of their work. Laugh. That's an innkeeper. Approachable. Cheerful. Merwin and Elwyn. Okay. Well, we need a hunter. One of these needs to be a hunter. Did Did I establish that there's a hunter? Oh, I named the innkeeper, actually. Whoops. Hey, you know what? Let's keep laugh, but laugh sounds like a village idiot. And the village idiot is usually either like drunk or crazy or secretly the smartest person in the village. I'm gonna pick a die. I'm gonna roll to see what the dice suggest. I think that's drunk. I think they suggest drunk village idiot. They're the comic relief. Did I already establish that it's a hunter? Because if I did, I want to keep that. Oh, I did not establish that. That's okay. We need to have a hunter. I'm going to say ranger. Ranger is a good word. Questioning ranger. And then who can this be? So we've got a village. And this village has a catacomb, but no one tends to it. As a general store, we already... A smithy. We need a smithy person. Smithy-er. What is it? Who works in a smithy? Blacksmith? Blacksmith. The work of a smith. Blacksmith. And I need a word to give this just a little more depth. Okay, let's just let the words spill. Okay, we got cork. I've got bystander. I've got unfortunate. I've got retaliating. I've got... Let me put retaliating in here. Thesaurus. Vengeful blacksmith. They're on a mission. And that's why they work. And if you are in their way, they will make you pay. And if you're on their side, they will not rest to see I don't know. We have the barest shape ironed out for each of these NPCs, but we can do a little better. I'm going to write a few sentences. Folksy traveling merchant. Before I write that down, let me actually see what I've written down for Milt. Okay, so we've got... Okay, so they're so happy they give a potion, a healing potion to each PC. Cloth merchant. A cloth merchant that... there was a point here where if they go to the side bridge, Milt abandons them. Milt does not try to cross this bridge. Okay, so I think there's also something about how if Milt arrives in the town, in the village, they speak on behalf of the party. If the party came here alone, they drew their attention that they came with Milt. Milt will understand you to explain things. Ah. Cloth merchant that isn't afraid to take risks. In pursuit of coin. Milt has on the road and is more comfortable traveling than staying put. He likes as a merchant, he pursues coin and also likes fresh jams. Because I don't know why not. And dislikes people not getting along. One more thing. We can put a little twist on this merchant. What is a thing that would be really weird for a merchant to be true? Someone who travels a lot, doesn't actually like touching money. They're a germaphobe. Only handles money with a handkerchief or some other form of some other cloth. Cool. That's a thing. Let's go ahead and put that there. Do we need to give this guy stats? No, we don't. If anyone asks, these guys are CR0 non-character, non-stat characters. They have 1 hit point. All their stats are +0. Tens across the board. If anyone, the inventories are whatever the DM wants them to be. It's not worth the paper. It's not worth the ink, and we aren't even using ink to slap stats on for all of these guys. All right, Isan, the haunted village elder. We also have a lot for this person. They have a bit of context here. The elder an elderly woman who speaks for the villagers in times of when appropriate. She has lost Where is it? Okay. Go rescue her daughter. But she knows her daughter is dead. She lost her daughter to a... She lost her daughter. Curse. And is bitter and remains bitter about it. From outsiders. Brought from outsiders and remains bitter about it to this day. Okay. So what does this village elder like and dislike? I don't want to say like she likes tradition and she hates new things, but those are the immediate things that come to mind. But we got to do a little better than that. I mean, we can write that down. Actually, she wouldn't like tradition because traditions are rusting. She feels traditions aren't worth keeping and likes. She likes, I'm gonna say music. She likes a good song and hates, I don't want to say magic, but I do want to say something to the effect of like, she hates things she doesn't understand. Including magic and fancy things from the cities. Seeing them as just a villager to fall victim to. Okay. And what's a quirk that we could give a village elder? What would be weird for a village elder to have? I don't know. Let me just brainstorm a little. All right. So she wears a wig. Or she doesn't wear a wig. Allergic to water. That's too weird. Allergic to silver? That could be fun. Let's go with that. that could result in something ridiculous. She's allergic to silver and go into shock if she comes in contact with it. Okay, we got the wild speaker of the village, Finny. I'm gonna say a former squire was once who moved to this village recently. He is. Oh, I should actually describe, like, the humans. I guess the humans so far, like, elderly human woman. Middle-aged human cloth merchant. That feels very awkward to say, but I don't know how better to do that. How do you establish the race and age and... I don't know. Maybe we don't need to do that. Former squire who moved to this village recently. He brings strange ways with him about the natural lands around the village and spends a lot of time outside the village collecting berries and small game. For Wormgate. Okay. He likes... How do you say he likes to be deferred to? He likes to be consulted. And dislikes other folk, others with strange ways. With ways that seem strange to him. And what's a fun quirk? His left hand has 7 fingers. No, that's too weird. Allergic to strawberries. Allergic to tieflings. Uncomfortable around people, but comfortable around animals. Colorblind, no. Covered in tattoos. Constantly squinting. Constantly squinting isn't terrible. No, I don't think. I think we could keep going. Can't whistle. That's not a quirk. Cross-eyed. Can't count. Can't count or read. Why are they a former squire? What would have invalidated them from being a squire? Maybe they got kicked out because they X. Maybe they're like a sleep arsonist. Like they start fires in their sleep. He is prone to sleepwalking and starting fires in his sleep. Cool. Why is this? Just like others in ways. No. With is correct. Maybe ways is the wrong word, though. Dislikes others with knowledge. That seems strange to him. Okay. We got a grumpy shopkeep now. Semtha. I'm going to say that is a stout name. A stout dwarven woman? Question mark? Who with a lot of knowledge about being a merchant in a rich city. She was once an established jeweler who lost most of her wealth when vulcanization became a threat. And moved out to the village, out to Wormgate, to escape with what she had left. She is upset. Ciders. Viewing them as gears in a corrupt system. She likes fine things and good order, and hates what would a shopkeep hate? I mean, there's obviously, I hate thieves, I hate bandits, I hate chaos, but I already wrote likes good order, so that's implied. I'm an NPC shopkeep, and I hate it when I run out of stuff to sell. I mean, I guess that's actually fine. Hates low supplies. Hates running out of things. Scarcity. Hates scarcity. There should always be enough, you know? And what's a quirk? Mute. Mute is a quirk. Okay. Yeah, that one's not fair. That's not a fair quirk. Has a diamond encrusted beard. Okay. What would make them especially susceptible to losing all of their wealth in a merchant city? They hate people. They hate people. They're unlikable. What would make them unlikable? A lot of things could make them unlikable. Oh, geez. What's something that make them unlikable, but not like too hard to make them get murdered by the players? I don't want to be like, they're cannibal. She's a cannibal. Like, no, that's too much. But I do want something in that realm, you know. Pro zombie. How about that? Can I workshop that a little more? Thinks magic is pro zombie, meaning pro zombie labor. Maybe she has a zombie laborer. Yeah, I like that. Has two zombies as laborers. And everybody hates that because, God, that is weird and whatever. Like that there. Zig, the weathered miller. I'm also going to put baker here. Zig sounds like a very exotic name. So, what are some what could Zig be? What are the races in D&D? Hold on. Great. No, I wanted to go to whatever. Open a new tab, that's fine. Species. Okay, what are the species? That could be like a dragonborn. That sounds like a good dragonborn name. Okay, I need a color. Let me roll this. That's gold. A gold scaled dragonborn who who tends to the villages, who feeds the village. He works tirelessly and often during the night. And is constantly sleep deprived. Wait a minute. Before I continue, I've got a bunch of side quests that I wrote down here. Introduce the villagers. Did I listen to that general store? Blah blah blah. They're surprisingly well stocked, thanks to their sponsorship. Is there anything they can do with the category? Nope. Smithy is run by Smithy. Who gives them this quest to go to the wilds? I didn't write that down. Okay. So there's no additional NPCs that I've forgotten about. Anyway, back to this Zig, this baker who is weathered and they are overworked. Perhaps they overwork themselves. And actually, he overproduces. And a lot of food ends up given to the wilds. Given to Finny. With Finny. And given to the wilds. Okay. What are things that a baker might like? Well, fresh meat. He just likes eating raw meat. Loves eating... Only eats raw meat. Raw meat. Which is unfortunate for a baker. Doesn't eat. Doesn't eat other food. Which is unusual. Dislikes being idle. That's pretty one-dimensional. Let's do a little better than that. What else might make a baker like or dislike? Dislikes being idle and seeing others be idle. Okay. And what's a quirk? What's a quirk that a dragonborn baker might have? Let's just do some brainstorming. Why would they be constantly working? Why are they working themselves into sleep deprivation? Loves hats. Believes the world will end soon. Hates talking. They hate talking, and the reason they feed everyone is because they want them to stop talking. Shut up and eat. Okay. Believes they are cursed because let's go our palette. We haven't looked at that in a while. Oh man, we're competitive with Farm Rock. Wait a minute. Hates Farm Rock. Hates Farm Rock. And is constantly comparing Wormgate, parts of Wormgate to Farm Rock. Okay. Is there else? They commune with the wilds. They're poor. They don't like mercenaries. Traditions are rusting. Yeah, that's fine. Barda. Who could this be? We got a guild liaison, so this person is responsible for maintaining connections with the outside world, basically. They probably live in a slightly fancier house. They have a little more wealth, but at the end of the day, they still live in a village, and that is probably not. That probably grates on them. You know, are they stuck here? They might be stuck here. They might be forced to live here, and they've lived here long enough that they're like jaded. And I wrote dubious, and I like dubious. So jaded and dubious. I'm gonna add jaded here. So could be an orc. That'd be fun. A tiefling orc. I'm gonna roll a die to see what the die thinks I should do. The die thinks this should be a tiefling. Is dun? What is dun? Dun is a color, right? Dullish grayish brown. I want to say a dun tiefling. Perhaps that's the wrong word. Grayish skinned tiefling. Usually wearing a vest with several guild emblems emblazoned onto them. And I gotta come up with some guilds so that we can... Because the players are gonna ask, so what guild emblems? And you gotta have an answer for that, for the DM. I think I wrote down the name of the Steelbone Mercenary Guild, including the Steelbone. She lives in a... is well dressed and lives in a fancier home. She gives a vibe of not caring what anyone wants and probably won't help them out if asked. Can you do X? Whatever. And not being reliable. She likes hearing about others who are dissatisfied with guilds, and also likes fancy clothes. She dislikes people bothering her. All right, that's a bit too much. We gotta be more quirk than that. She likes and good ale. She dislikes violence. And how about animals? She dislikes animals. That's a quirk. Don't like people, don't like animals. Then the other vid. She maintains correspondence with various guilds and keeps records. And won't commit. Okay. We got a guild liaison who doesn't want to do anything. I should write down that she resents being sent out to the village here by the guilds, and she has been in this village long enough to develop a distaste for guilds in general. All right, we got an afflicted sage to write. Leo Frick. What can we say about a sage? An elderly... No, let's just say they're an elf. Elf who has lived in this village for a long time and lives in the village. He what makes them afflicted? He has a deep wisdom, has a deep understanding of history and what else? What else? Come on. Assumes the worst. Well, you know what might be fun is if he was cursed to talk in a certain way. And it's just so frustrating for him that he's just like, ugh. Can I do that? Let me write that down and see if it's a good idea. He is studies. During his studies, he picked up a curse which binds his hands and tongue. He can only say 6 words every minute. Or write 6 words per minute. He prefers to draw. That could work. That could be cool. And then we give him like cool recipes. He knows a lot of cool alchemical and magical recipes, but can't really communicate to them. So we've got traveling merchant and village elder. Those the party is gonna meet. They're gonna meet. We've put them on the plot road. We've got the wild speaker. This can be who takes the party to the Brun Cimares dungeon. Grumpy shopkeep. If you want to buy anything, you got to buy something from the shopkeep. The weathered baker. We can ask the party to go get food from the baker. They can get free food, but they have to talk to the baker to get it. So we can get the party to meet them that way. A dubious guild liaison. I guess they can come visit them, the party, while they're resting. Because, you know, that's her job. And now we've got Sage. Someone can maybe recommend that he might have recipes for like this. Where is it? Fire resistance potion. Potions of slightly better fire resistance. Such as the potion of fire resistance. All right, I like that. What else? What else? Likes. Okay, what might the sage like? Sage might likes candles and can't stand being near people without a lit candle. Has to light a candle. He has to light a candle. If he doesn't, he feels uncomfortable. And what else can we do here? Missing an ear. He's missing a left ear. That's fine. Why is he missing a left ear? I'll be happy to draw you a picture to explain that. Lost to a direwolf. All right, we got a bridge engineer. I don't think the party needs to meet this person, but they can if they want. Let me just go ahead. A half-elf. An elderly half-elf. Nope. A veteran half-elf. What's the word you can say that someone's like close to retirement? They're not retired, but they're close to retirement. Thesaurus. Superannulated. What does that even mean? Oh, obsolete through age. Sequestered. Superannuated? That's a word? Superannuated. Man, this thesaurus, I've never heard that word before in my life, but the thesaurus is really insisting that that's the word I want. Antiquated. Passé. Senile. Superannuated. Perennial? No, that's not a word. I mean, it is a word. That's not a word that is related to retired. Pensioned. Let's go with pensioned. Former. A half elf, that's a former bridge bank engineer. That's a former bridge. Who is a former bridge engineer. His works are mainly obsolete, but he is responsible for both bridges to Wormgate and is proud of them in his dotage. Dotage. Maybe? That might be worse than retired. Yeah, too severe. Like, what's before that? What's right before that? Not right before, but like a few steps before that. Dotage. Decrepitude. Infirmity, no. Elderliness. Caducity, senescence. Geezerhood. What are these words? I'm gonna say grizzle. Grizzled, who is a former retired bridge engineer. His works are mainly obsolete. His knowledge, no, I don't want to say his works. His works are antiquated. I don't really have much. I need to cook harder with this guy. What else? What else could be going on? I just have a bridge engineer in this village for no reason. For no reason. He reads books to the village every night. And and has a pet direwolf. No, that's silly. Has a pet goat. No. Has a pet. Has a weird pet. What is a weird pet? Is a rabbit a weird pet? What's the setting? What's going on? We're just making NPCs for this village. That is, it's nestled up in the Bladed Wilds, which are a not really defined location yet. But this village is currently being it's being subjected to volcanization. It's turning into a volcano. Party's trying to stop that from happening. I haven't really said much about Wormgate other than it has an inn, There's another village over there. Oh, wait. I have a whole palette. Where's my palette? People don't like mercenaries. The village is poor. The villagers commune with the wilds and are weird about it. Wormgate is competitive with Farm Rock, and the traditions are rusting. Alright, what's a weird... animal in the wilds? How silly is the setting? I don't know. It's not supposed to be too silly. It does have what is it? I wrote giant goat as an encounter somewhere, so I think that is a good tone setting. Flying catfish, that could work. Has a flying catfish. Has a flying catfish as a pet. Doesn't even have to be flying. It could just be a catfish. It could just be a catfish. That's also weird and also works. Named... Oh, shoot. I don't want to name this. I'm not naming that. What would this half-elf engineer like and dislike? Likes... okay. He likes the stars and things about this, and things about like, and reading them and such. Catfish is named Brill. It is so. I will stamp that name. He likes the stars and reading them and such, and dislikes. You know what? We can just say he doesn't like mercenaries. I think it's fine to be like that. We wrote that on the palette. Gotta use it. Gotta use it. And then they need a quirk. They need a quirk. Cannot feel pain. That's a quirk. I don't think that'll ever come up. But half of these are... up to the DM if they want to make them relevant or not. Alright, we've got the Drunk Village Idiot. The only reason I put this down is because the random name generator gave me this name. You know what? I'm going to come back to this. We've got Jandar. Jandar. This keeps giving me weird combinations of stuff. Cheerful innkeeper. A youthful big human with we got a big guy, a thick beard, and is basically always cleaning something. No, that's silly. And is always smiling, no matter the situation. He manages the inn in the village in Wormgate. And well, how do we establish that this innkeeper is cheerful? They're happy. What's an action? What is an action they could take? They could be let's go to the RNG. It's always flipping a coin in their hand. Always selling quotes. No. Always holding a drink. Well, that would make me happy. He sings to himself. Out loud, but not for an audience. And is always singing something. That works. That works. That's better than what this generator is giving me. Always telling jokes. Interesting. Okay. I'm going to go to my palette to see likes and dislikes. I'm going to say that he likes to ask about Farm Rock, about how things are in Farm Rock, and dislikes What would a happy innkeeper dislike? I've got a couple standby NPCs if you don't want to use that village idiot. Sure. Lay him on me. I don't mind. He hates, dislikes subtext. That's not bad. Dislikes secrecy. Being subtle. And I'm going to say that he cannot remember names. Is that being too mean to the DM? It is being too mean to the DM. I shouldn't write that. Let me try again. He cannot pronounce names correctly. No matter how hard he tries. A pirate who had a run-in with a ghost ship that left him terrified. But after he survived, he swore to never go to sea again, and he's helping religious organizations, and half this protection from the spirits he thinks will still come to him one day. That's not bad. That's pretty good. Orto spent most of his life in religious order, leading groups on their pilgrimages. been all over the world, but have grown tired of the vow of poverty and the church in general. Looking to break away from religion and explore sin and hedonism. The thing those seem worth adapting. The thing that makes this complicated is that religion has left this town. There used to be someone in this town maintaining the village catacomb, but they're gone, and no replacement has come. So that is part of the idea behind the traditions rusting. So we'll have to take those ideas and adapt them. But yeah, I think that works. We can. I don't like this name. I mean, I like the name, but it just it draws me to Village Idiot. Questioning Ranger. I could take those two NPCs and blend them together. A former pirate, a former pirate, a run-in with a curse left them superstitious. Swore off that your characters now do what you need to do with them. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. I'll come back to this. I think I will scratch this name out. As much as I like it, I will scratch it out. But I will. No, I should cook now. Let me. Do you care if I use the names? I can smash the two names together. Ozoof. Or Zoof. Superstitious. Ex-sailor. Once I say something online, it's out of my hands. You know, that's fair. That's the same with this document too. I'm pointing in that direction. All of this stuff, I really should just make this document public. The only reason I haven't done that yet is because I'm lazy and I don't know where to put the link. But anyone is welcome to take any content in this document or any of the documents that I post and steal it, use it for yourself. I mean, preferably don't say you made it, but you know, use it in your games for sure. Free market of ideas is 100% correct. That's what this is. But let me go ahead and smash these two things together. A former pirate who had a run-in. And is now fearful of water, of the sea, of the, like, not water, like they can drink water, but they're fearful of bodies of water. They how can we make this NPC relevant? this NPC could have a quest. They could be a supplier. I don't know. They spend most of their time in the village. They build boats for the village. So I have to leave. Good luck. Well, thank you. Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for the characters. They provide the carpentry to the village and can carpentry to the village and can and are usually building or repairing something in the village, like the fences. They are friends with Deme. They like religious stuff, especially things that keep curses away. They hate they also like I should say he provides carpentry to the village and is usually building or repairing something in the village. He is likes religious stuff. He hates hates the idea of he hates mercenaries. That's fair. This seems like a guy who especially hates mercenaries. Having fought them in the past and suffered. All right. They need a quirk. Let me just go ahead and peek at the text that you've written, that you've provided. Has a protective spirit. That would be really fun. That is usually hidden in a it's usually hidden away in a jar and only comes out at night. All right. 2 more NPCs to go, and then we got a village. Got a ranger. I think I said up here that we have a wild speaker. The wild speaker collects fruits and small game. When a what's a word for like deep in the forest? Like I am very naturey. I'm a nature person. I'm covered in moss all the time. What's the word for someone? A hermity person who lives in the forest. Tribal? No. Oh, this is stupid AI. No, I don't want. Jungle dweller. A dweller. A woods dweller. Why is that? Recluse? A recluse. Wow. Reclusive elf who lives in the who often has a home in the village but lives most days in the wilds. She provides protection for the village from the animals, from the dangerous, including keeping a watch on, what was his name? Finny. She doubts most of the folksy rituals anyone does work, and she is skeptical of anything mystic, including magic. Her bow. Okay, she's got a bow. She protects the village. She keeps a watch on Finny. She thinks, she's skeptical of a lot of stuff. Okay, we need to come up with likes and dislikes and a quirk. This might be someone who, like, if the party gets in trouble and they're in the wilds, they might encounter Merwin. But they probably won't. But they might. Go back to the generator. The generator says, what about someone who loves contracts? No. Has X-ray vision? No. Constantly misquotes people. She keeps her. She likes having flowers in her hair and dislikes metal. No, that's too straightforward. She likes having flowers in her hair and likes people who ask questions. She dislikes Music. It just sounds like annoying noise to her. Okay, that's unfortunate for her, but yeah. And what's a quirk? What is a little bit of spice that we can give this character? Check our palette. We've got rusting traditions. Something about farm rock? No. Villagers commune with the wilds. Village is poor. People don't like mercenaries. Okay. Okay, let's think. Let's think. It's brain meat time. Collects buttons. Really likes money. No concept of property. If you were transported into the world of D&D and are all fantasy games and had to make your perfect character for yourself, what would you choose? Race, class, multi-class, prestige, weapons, etc. That's like that's how I play most RPGs. Like I'm making myself. I mean, not literally myself, but like this is the character I want to be if I got transported into this world. I usually like making a wizard. That's my go-to because I like the idea of studying to solve a problem, and then magic happens, and then the problem is solved, and then I don't have to explain how it got solved. It just did. Deal with it. You know. It sounds like it would be a lot of fun to be angry and to be a barbarian because you get more powerful by being angry. And I just like, usually when people get angry, the anger is not productive. It's just useless. It's just holding you back. But if you could turn anger into potency, heck yeah. Maybe we can take that idea and work it into this NPC. Like, they like getting angry. They're always angry. No. I don't know. That doesn't seem like something I can quirk up. Believes in destiny. Constantly flattering people. No. Very competitive. Likes volcanoes. Thinks vulcanization is a good thing. Sure, why anyone? Yeah. Wizard Barbarian. Exactly. Wizard Barbarian would be... that combo, specifically. You have an answer for every problem. Last NPC. What character would you make if you were transported into a world of D&D of your choice? Choose wisely. We have a vengeful blacksmith. Why did I write that she was vengeful? I can't remember. Okay. Random generator. Give me a. This is an elf. This is another elf. A scarred elf who occupies the smithy of the village. You'd be a Pelor cleric and ranger. That's a good combo. I think cleric is an all-around good answer to that question, and ranger is very, very. In some worlds, it's very on point, and in some worlds, it's like, whoop. But I like that, yeah. Who works the smithy of the village? What is an action that can take to express their is constantly busy with the needs of the village, but can find the time to help his friends out. No, that's not useful. That's not a useful thing to tell the DM. This guy likes his friends and he dislikes his enemies. That's word count, baby. Constantly busy with the needs of the village, and all right. Let me check. What did I write down here for the smithy? Smithies are by name. That doesn't seem like something they should be asking the smithy. That seems like something they should be asking a ranger. But maybe the smithy can point them to the ranger. Constantly busy with the needs of the village. Cooking up. And never has resources to do. What can I write here? Okay. I definitely feel fatigue after writing these for a few hours. Like, need to source some new inspiration. So let me just think for a second. Who's an interesting blacksmith in fiction? Think of 2 interesting NPCs that you can think of from anything you've watched or read or anything like that. This is how I get past inspiration blocks when I need to create a character. Pick 2 inspiring characters from fiction and smash them together and try and reconcile those characters. Now I just need to think of 2 characters. Now I've doubled my work. Damn it. This isn't working. I'm just going to keep hitting the generate button on this generator. They believe in contracts. That actually works for the blacksmith. He Uh, is well versed in contracts and oversees and helps with any contracts that involve the village. He is also let's go up here. Very competitive with Farm Rock. Believing himself to be a superior smith. And looking for ways to prove it. Okay. Now, what are things that what is a like and a dislike? He likes contracts and working with them. He dislikes what might a blacksmith dislike? There are so many things people could dislike for any reason. Dislikes violence, dislikes sacred texts, dislikes the forest, dislikes animals. Didn't I already do that? Cannot feel pain. Missing a left ear. Dislikes animals. I did do that. Okay. Always no. That we're still on dislikes. Dislikes. Dislikes modesty. Dislikes hats. Okay, I can go with that. Dislikes hats and head coverings, including medium or better armor. Sees them as disrespectful. And then, as a quirk, gotta have a quirk. Quirk. Secretly a vegetarian. Always eating bread. Just always. Just constantly. Like, if you see him, he's got a slight loaf of bread in his hands. Eating it. Cool. That works. These are minted NPCs. I shouldn't say minted. We have carved out a rough shape. I think there's enough here to work with to cook up the rest of this adventure. Honestly, what we have written here is enough. Probably, need to go through a polish phase and make sure that all the words are correct. But this is about what I'd have for an NPC. I might have this in bullet points. I might need to add a few more sentences to a few of these, especially when we start polishing up each chapter and we start putting in actual NPCs, specific NPCs to take actions. We might put the Elf Ranger Merwin. Yeah, I might put her somewhere. Oh, I didn't add any NPCs for the bandits. There might be a bandit. What's the name? Bandit leader? Might need a bandit leader. Don't need to write much about that. Just have a guy. Where do I have? Do I not have more text for the bandits? Why am I spacing out? It's here, right? This is everything that I've gotten. Party salsa camp. There's a bandit leader. We gotta name a bandit leader. Ladore. Leader of the bandits. That's all we really need to write for now. I also want to have a baron or a duke or a noble or local noble X. Local noble around near Wormgate. And I gotta give him a name before I write a description. Mentha. No. Actually, that is fine. Noble Mentha. Manages has control over Farmrock. No, that's silly. That's silly. That's a local noble who wants to take control over Wormgate. Gotta think of a better name than noble. That's a better noble title. Count, Viscount, Marquess, Duke, Baron. Let's go with Baroness. It's easy. I don't really want to write much about them because they're not in this adventure. They just exist. We're not going to meet them. We're not going to find out anything about them. Is Mentha actually a good name? Let me just make 5 more names just to see. Perenel, Eloi, Elios. Actually, that might be better. Yeah, that's better for sure. Roger. Okay, this name generator is cooked. Are there any other NPCs that I need to generate? I talked about making the volcano elementals. I guess I could come up with names. And when I say I come up with the names, what I mean is I'm going to press this button on this generator. And it's going to give me names. And I'm going to say, no, those are all bad. And then I'm going to cry. And nope. There we go. Those are names. Will they ever matter? I hope not. These are the volcano elementals that the party needs to stab to save Wormgate, and giving them names and letting the party talk to them is going to result in things that aren't that. But this right here, this is a lineup of villagers. We can take these names. We can cook a little story together with what they got. What I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna do this on stream. I'm gonna take all these names. I'm gonna write them in a web, and I'm gonna connect them, and I'm gonna see if there's any like plot hooks that I can pull from that. Because connections they're the roads of the story. Let's just say. If the NPCs are the hands, the connections between the NPCs are the roads. Yeah, that analogy doesn't work. They're the thing the story that moves that the story travels on. Connections. Paths? Roads? I don't know. Go ask an author what a better word for that is. I wish I could. Do we have any authors in chat? Anyway, I am going to leave it here. This was good. I made some NPCs. Next, I feel like is time to cook up some mechanics. So we need to actually make the things that we're going to fight. We need to figure out, like, when the players play this game, what dice we're going to ask them to roll. We need to figure out, like, magic items that they're going to get. We need to figure out loot. We need to figure out if these maps actually are interesting. Like, I just drew them. I didn't spend any effort thinking about, like, is this a cool fight? Would this make a cool fight? Like, this one I'm not worried about, because this is the very first fight. Is this a cool fight? I think we can make it cooler. Is this a cool fight? We can make it cooler with some mechanics. Like, we can make these bones do stuff. Is this a cool fight? I don't think so. And then we've got... Maybe this is cool. I'm not sure. There's definitely work we can do here. Because this is a room. It's just got a hole in it. That's it. That's the whole room. That's not bad. For an intro, that might be enough. For an intro adventure, that might be enough. But if this was for a home game, I would want to spice it up a little more. I'd want to add, like, the ground is sloped here, so it's difficult terrain going in one direction. Actually, no, I take that back. Maybe this is fine. I don't want to get too creative. I don't want to get too crazy. But anyway, we're going to actually think about that in more detail. We're going to actually we've got the bones laid down. Now we're going to put some meat on those bones next time. All right, that is it. I'm going to head out. If you have any questions about D&D, feel free to leave them in the comments or in the chat. I will answer them. I will pay attention and answer them, and or talk about them in the next stream. Planning on that being Tuesday. Alrighty. Hope you're all having a good day out there. Hope things are going well. Play lots of fun games. Have lots of fun time. Have a good one, y'all.